Hello and welcome back to some more Game of Thrones action from Fanboy3. We're here at the 5th round of the Swiss now, the 4th unfortunately having been lost to Gremlins and missing out around where I won, sadly. In this game it's Greyjoy versus Greyjoy, best of, with Mr. Dave Bamford from Brigstock and Banter Behind the Throne fame over on the left playing Greyjoy, Reigns of Castamere. And I'm on the right this time playing Greyjoy, Kings of Winter again. And here we are, just sorting out our setup hands now.
Yeah, very solid.
So Dave's got a fantastic 6-card setup there, allowing him to draw very deep into his deck and have a lot of locations out, which is rather nice. Whereas I've just gone for something rather middling. I did get my Seastone Chair, which I like to see, and a Rattleshot's Raiders with some Black Wind's Crew, so some nice military pressure. Hopefully any milks that go on my big dudes won't stick around, but I'm not too worried about attachments in this compared to how I was, for example, in the match against Tyrell. Of all those mean Martell icon control attachments. So we're going into plot 1 now.
Fair.
So I've gone with a race limit straight away because that seems like a good idea to me. Basically get their reserve down early. So while they've got the most cards in their hands, since they'll have 9 at the start from the setup. Now we have to go to a coin toss, first player. And I've taken it. Time to get underway.
I've got a seat out for my limited.
Just dropping a seat out for a little bit more dollar.
Have some minds of my own.
Getting my saves out, very important, since we'll both probably be valoring due to Greyjoy's nice amount of saves that they've got. And it's a Priest of the Drowned God to finish off. Sorry, I'm entirely wrong. There's also a Lord's Port Shipwright to hopefully keep down his either scouting vessels or raiding longships.
Yeah, I'll pop that seat out.
And Dave's not really doing a lot at all with his marshalling, just popping that down, allowing me the option to kneel it. It's important to when I've noticed when I'm doing my marshalling, because typically only the active player can play down new cards. I often forget about enemy action windows, and Dave's being very, very conscientious and correct and remembering to allow me to use my Lord's Port Shipwright. Clearly deep in thought here. I suppose the question has to be whether he wants to get out any military icons at all, or is he just going to leave it alone? No, he's actually popped out Asher.
That's fine. No, it doesn't. You don't need to kneel the chair.
And he's kneeling my Seastone Chair, or rather about to kneel my Seastone Chair before realising that the Seastone Chair itself doesn't actually kneel to trigger its effect.
Okay, that's fine. I'll deal with it.
Instead, keeping that Lord's Port Shipwright still.
So yeah, let's do red for 6.
Now I've got a chance to make challenges, so I'm going in for a nice large military.
Do that,
and he's letting me have it unopposed because he can just save the Asher there with the Risen from the Sea.
Yeah.
And I'll pop a cheeky Hand's Judgment to cancel that. That was one of the main reasons I like having Hand's Judgment, since it'll cancel Risen from the Sea for free. And now he's just going to use a 9 mines as well to save her.
I'll do green for 3.
So that my big push feels really effective there. So it seems like a good idea to go in on some green, just to take some cards out of his hand.
Extremely important to pillage. It is a Risen. Good to get. I will. What is it? Sure.
Poking in a cheeky intrigue first with the Lord's Port. Rather, no, he's actually defending that with his Lord's Port ship right, rather than allowing to have the unopposed bonus. But I do sneak a card out anyway, and it's a little finger, so cutting back on cards, which hopefully should be low after this turn due to Race in their midst. Although his intrigue hits back and gets a fish whiskers, which is quite brutal. And he's coming in with double use of Asher and getting her to stand for dominance. That's a really nice power gain and nabbing one of my characters.
Who on? Oh, on. Did I buy a cook? That's true. You might.
Although I'm going to use those iron mines there to also save. Arguably not the best idea.
Right. In that case. You'll go to Dom. Yeah. Did I already take Dom? No.
Possibly too small to see, but Dave's got some awesome custom power tokens with the current Speaker of the House of Commons, John Burko, on them, which is just so wacky and adorable, and I'm a big fan.
How many cards do you have? 3.
So here we go for plot 2.
3 because I'm not. I've got the first player. Oh, you are. That's true. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm probably the other way.
Well, I think we're actually sorting out reserve, and I'm forgetting that Alanis isn't active because Dave wasn't the first player.
I've got to track the card. I'm just considering my plots before I decide what to that's going to be my plot. I'm going to shot. I'll get ready.
So I'm feeling very nervous of Dave's board presence there. He's got a lot of locations out. He's pretty well able to control his challenges. Since he's got that raiding longship and scouting vessel there.
One card. You draw as well.
He's flipped a Calling the Banners and getting a nice amount of money off me, because I've gone for an early frost to try and slow him down a bit and reduce his cover. Also, if I can push through a two-claim military, then I'll feel like I've cut him down a bit, even if Asher doesn't die. I'm opting not to kneel his sea towers with my Lord's Port ship right, as I think there's probably more juicy things that I could be going for, but he is kneeling mine, leaving me only on 4 gold.
Big lad here on me and Victorian, right?
Although, coming out with a Victorian as well as Asher, now feels like I'm looking to be overwhelmed a bit.
Spend all of that on some drowned men's. And I think I'll pop down your raiding longship.
I do pay for some drowned men out. They're not particularly strong, but they are more bodies, so nice to have at least. And popping down that raiding longship, which is probably the biggest thorn in my side at the moment. We go into Dave's challenges phase. Deep in thought, two titans of the game. Or rather, one titan and one rank amateur. Victoria's going to go in, so I don't necessarily want to try too hard to win this on defence, since it'll be quite tricky with that scouting vessel out there, but I can't leave it too undefended either, since Victorian does have that very scary intimidate. In the end, I go in for 6 on the defence and leave him unable to really kneel anyone, although he does win. Killing off that puny little Lord's portrait point.
Stealth priest. Unopposed.
Asher can now come in and get an unopposed power, leaving herself ready with a nice 4 strength to dominance. Pushing me really far back, I'm now only on 1 power on my house card. And even Alanis is going to go in for a cheeky intrigue challenge.
Yours. Yeah.
Not too fussed about losing my Pyromancers here. There's a lot of buildings out on the board, buildings and boats,
But you do win that.
and I don't think I'm going to control them all.
Unopposed. And then both of them. Sure.
Get Asher Nelt for military, and at least get a nice 2-claim intrigue out of it, if nothing else. Fortunately leaving him on 0 cards. Although that's a much bigger board than mine now, with 2 large characters, one of whom has renown. I want to get Victorian out of the way quickly before he gets his 2 power on that can keep him safe. Dave hasn't managed to trigger his Reigns of Castamere yet, but it's definitely doable in Greyjoy if you can actually find your icons, since there's a lot of challenge manipulation from that raiding longship there, and also a little bit from the scouting vessels if you need that extra pump. So I've been forced to really flip into my Valor quite prematurely, but really wanted to get it done quickly before Victorian could be immune as well.
Oh, do you count her in your reserve?
So I'm left with an empty board versus an Asher, which is not ideal at all.
I've won initiative, so let's go.
Whereas Dave's gone with the Battle of Oxcross, which is one of the ways you can make triggering Reigns of Castamere quite easy of Greyjoy, preventing them from really putting a lot of strength in their intrigue defence. And then flipping one of your nice little schemes. Dave starting off and popping down his Balon, so that's me really on the back foot now.
Play anything. Count 3. And I'm done. Sure. In that case.
And with only 3 gold coming in. I'm not even marshalling anything, and just getting taken to pieces really. He's crawling his way towards 15. I'm not really ready to call it yet. I guess I just want to grit it on to the bitter end, but really I know it's over. In my heart of hearts, I know it's over. I'll blame my poor performance on being starstruck and not the fact that I brought a terrible deck. Arguably not too terrible, since after this 5th round of Swiss I was 3-2. So maybe with a few tweaks it could come back. Although I reckon I've had enough of it really. I think I'm ready to move on to some different things. Try out some of the Lannister stuff you can do with Harrenhal, or even have a go at some aggressive Night's Watch and see how they're doing. just throwing out the damn pair there is sort of a gesture of final defiance, but I really can't see it going anywhere.
Yeah, definitely didn't start especially well.
I think the main
And that's it, Dave seals it up.
Using the iron mines
And moves on to the top 8.
when you really need to keep it for the Valor.
I did need to keep it for the Valor, yeah.
I'll have one more game from this batch before my camera packs out, but I won't be in it, unfortunately.
I probably should have defended you, Victor.
So, bye everybody.
You're just going to intimidate anyone, I